And right now, are you settled on your starters for Clemson? Is there still a little work in progress, even a few days left before?
You know, with Coach Pruitt, every day you got to earn it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a cliche, but I mean, it really is what it is. I mean, it's open up until game time.
Kind of where you want to go ahead, Mark?
How much progress have you seen from Tim and Reggie since the beginning of the preseason?
I've done a great job. I mean, we were down there to just a handful of backers throughout camp, and those guys battled through and played their tails off. They've gotten better, and we got a long ways to go. But you know, I like who they are. I like their character. I like how hard they're working. And they're good. They're good guys to have on your team.
I don't know how much you looked at last year's game film, but they didn't play the backups too much at your spot. Do you have an anticipation that you want to get them a certain number of snaps a game and give those other guys a breather?
You know, it just, again, it all goes based on the game and who earns it and whatnot. I mean, I'd love to play them all, but it's not, as Coach Rick says, not the YMCA. You know, I mean, you gotta put your best out there and roll. And once you get into the flow of a game, especially a game like this, I mean, once you're in the flow of it, to keep on rolling guys in and out, it gets a little more difficult because they're not a very stagnant offense. They're kind of all over the board. So we'll see. I mean, I'd love to play them all.
How much is Remeet Wilson's absence from his injury, whatever, setting him back as far as getting him prepared to where you guys want him to be to play to start maybe on Saturday?
Well, anytime you miss practice, I mean, it sets you back, and he missed a bunch, and kind of is what it is, and we've made some moves, and so he's trying to battle his way back right now.
How close is he to getting where you want him to be?
Oh, you know, I don't know if he'll ever get there, but,
Yeah.
but he's doing better.
Okay.
When you say moves, obviously Reggie Carter's a guy that's we keep hearing is earned a right to be on the field. Is that generally what you're talking about, or even
Well,
maybe more extensive than that?
I wouldn't even go as far as saying naming any names. I'd just say we're moving some guys, and Coach Pruitt every single day. I mean, we're going over our depth charts and looking not just for this week, but looking for the right moves down in the long run.
You have punt return, don't you?
Yes, sir.
I know McKenzie, maybe a couple other guys being looked at. Has anything been settled there in terms of?
Still working. I mean, you got a handful of guys that have been busting their tail, and you know, we're still trying to figure that one out, but we're getting closer and closer each day.
We hear so much about Isaiah, and we saw what he was able to do in high school. Are you okay with putting a freshman back there? I mean, that's kind of an interesting role for a lot of pressure for somebody who was in high school last year.
The way I look at it is there's no freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. Everybody's a senior. You play for 1 year at a time, and you put the best guys out there, and everybody's got to play like they're a senior. So he'll figure it out.
I was surprised to see Reggie Davis back there this past Tuesday having a club on his hand just a few days before that. I mean, obviously he's
fine.
recovered to the point.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
We just rubbed some of that secret dust on it. He's all right.
Do you think it's better to alternate or rotate, whatever the word is, punt return guys, or would you rather have one guy be the guy?
You'd probably like to have one, but again, I mean, if there's two guys that are pretty equal, and you want to get a good look at them, and it's like rotating quarterbacks.
Is that kind of where maybe Davis and McKenzie are right now?
It could be. I mean, we're still evaluating them. Shoot, we got a few more practices to go here, so we'll get it figured out. You know, BMAC has done a great job. He's working his tail off with those guys, and we'll put the right guy out there.
Coach, you've been around a lot of places, coached a lot of places. You're getting down to the exciting time now to quit preparing and start talking about an actual game. But from your standpoint of observing and being a part of Jeremy Pruitt's staff, how can you kind of describe him and kind of what his impact has been since he's been here? Because I understand it's gone beyond just the defense. It's been the way practice is structured and some other stuff like that.
Yeah, everybody's got a different style, and he's got a unique style about him. He's got a unique background with the people he's learned under, and he's extremely intelligent. And so he's got a great package. He really understands the kids well. He's really fiery. He's very detail-oriented. So he's got the makings of being a tremendous coordinator, and someday being a tremendous head coach. So he's definitely got the it factor to him.
It's hard to realize sometimes with what he's done these last 3 years that he's not that far removed from being a high school coach. But high school coaches all the time. I mean, a lot of times, some people say that high school coaches can do what you guys do.
Well, you know, along the same lines, I've coached with some guys who coached in the NFL for a number of years. They're the worst coaches I'd ever coached with in my life. Yeah, I mean, that's just being honest.
Yeah.
And you know what? So I'm sure there's some people say I'm probably the worst coach they ever coached. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But that's the truth. I mean, there's some great coaches in the NFL, and there's some guys who probably shouldn't be coaching at Goodnight Junior High. You know, and so there's some great high school coaches. You know, it's all about having the opportunity and
But you like what you've seen. I mean, and I
Oh,
say
yeah, he's
you've been to
fantastic.
Southern Cal, Nebraska, everywhere
yes,
else.
sir.
Yeah.
No, he's a real deal. He knows what he's doing.
Tracy Rocco